Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you might be watching this. It's the 1st of March. This is this is the penultimate Cheltenham preview that I'll be recording. We have Jamie Wren back. Lots of you have been asking for him. It's the Irish angle coming into the festival, and he's an absolute judge in the handicaps. So they're the races we're going to be focusing on in here. We'll also cover off the Mares Novice Hurdle because me and Daryl missed that, and he didn't have an opinion anyway. So, Jamie, how you doing? You okay, mate?
Come on, Dave, and yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm excited about it coming up to the festival. Not the normal excitement, given everything else that's going on, but forget about that. We're going to bang straight into the Ultima, the handicaps. We'll go through them, do the Mares Novice as well, and you're going to give us the good thing. So start us off. Ultima, give us the winner.
The winner is Dave. What do you think? We said him there during the year to Tri-Town. He's been dropped a pound since. It has to be Discorama.
Oh, yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, got to have a chance, hasn't he?
I suppose the way I look at that, Dave, Discorama, I know Punchestown at the end of the year throws up 20-year results. You have what? Nearly the favourite for the Gold Cup. He split the favourite for the Gold Cup nearly, and split nearly the joint favourite for the Ryanair, which is Delta Work and Absolute Fair. Right, he's been left on 148 by the English Handicap, or 148 here. He ran at Limerick behind Unaccepted and EG Work, only a spin around in a hurdle race before Christmas time. Had a wind off, 148, 12-1 each way. What a cracking bet. It has to be a great bet. No, I know the Irish have a bad record in the race. I think this is a great bet. Discorama, all the way, each way. First Napa in the top.
Yeah, and I do agree with you. The fact that he's been left off the same mark, maybe the Irish horses don't do so well in it because they get so heavily penalised. He's had a wind up as well, I noticed over Christmas. There was lots of talk about him being a horse for like the Ladbroke Trophy this year as well, wasn't there? And obviously he was only narrowly beaten it was the last race that was a 4-miler at Cheltenham last year, so he definitely comes with a chance. Don't like any of that each way nonsense though. We're here, men of steel. I reckon the conditioner was one that I mentioned a while ago, but he's a wise guy's one, and I'm not so keen on him now. Kildesart's been supported quite a lot recently. Who Dares Wins looks like he's another one that a few people are putting up, but I have to agree with you. I think Discorama at this point looks like he could be the answer, couldn't he? So we'll move on to the second handicap. It's the Northern Trust Novices Handicap Chase, formerly the Close Brothers. I'll tell you what, there's a couple in here recently that have come onto my radar, but this is all about you, Jamie. Tell us who wins this.
Oh, I don't know, Dave. It's a tough one. I suppose the horse I fancied all year for is Galvin, but like he's up to 142. Is he better than 142? I don't know myself. I don't think so. Hold the note. Thing of hold the note is it was 132 the last day. I know the horse to beat it was 142 odds the last. It was a two for gold. Is it 2 for gold? That's it. It went up. It's gone up 13 pounds for finishing second. I know, look, the old connections, and they've won it before. Mr. Whittaker, Mick Shannon likes to target the rest.
Yeah.
My selection, Dave, is Big Town. I think if there's any good in this going, I think this horse is well handicapped. I think it's going to be better than its mark in 139. All you have to do is have good in the going. But the only thing is, Dave, I think this horse can switch to the place if the ground gets better rest of the festival. Because it's supposed to get better. As Simon Clay said today, the ground's going to get better during the week. So if I was having a selection at the moment, Big Town, like the favourite Imperial Laura, and probably deserves to be favourite because it probably ran in the hottest novice handicap of the year with Simply the Best winning, and on the slopes was third. And that's slopes is a chance in the Grand Annual. But if I was have the selection, not a confident selection, it would be Big Town.
I like it. He was one of those that was in my 20 to follow this season. He's definitely got something wrong with his wind. He doesn't see his races out very nicely. It could be plotty for this. What you've touched on there is the key with him. He does need a bit of nice ground. Imperial Law is interesting. I mean, obviously he's the favourite. He's rightful favourite as far as I'm concerned. Because that race you talked about where he was beaten by Simply the Bets, he drifted rancidly on the day. The yard were out of form and he still had an absolute stonker. So you can see why he's that price. But this is, well, it's not even really that left field because it's not that big a price. But Henry de Bromhead did his stable tour recently. Henry de Bromhead won the race last year over Plutard. Henry de Bromhead says that Trainwreck, although he's run loads and loads of times, he says he's been running him at the wrong trip over and over and over again. So I think he's slightly interesting, but he's only a 14-1 poke. There might be something in there at a bigger price, but like you touched on.
I think he got out bet the last 8 episodes now.
Probably. But it's just with those sorts of horses, the horses that run a lot in these handicaps that have sort of maybe their mark looks like it's plateaued. We know that something needs to change for that horse to then be able to find improvement. So the trip might work for him. But like you've touched on with Simon Clace talking about the ground, I do think we are at a point now where it's only a week before the festival. It's not really that much anti-post betting anymore. You're better just to wait for the ground. And races like this on the day as well, you'll get a quarter of the odds. You might even get 6-7 places with some of the firms. So it's worth us giving them a steer. But yeah, Beakstown, if the ground gets better, I'd be interested in too. We'll move on to Thursday. Sorry, it's not Thursday. We're not that far ahead. Move on to Wednesday, the Coral Cup. You've got to have something in here, surely.
I agree with Mr. Carter actually here. Protectorate. I think that was a good race last day. He was second. He beat one in the Shores room. I think the faster they go, the better this horse will be. I think it'll still improve. Now you touched on Birchdale. Here, like if you look back at the Albert Bartlett last year, if you turn the bend and rewind it again and watch him, he travelled like the best horse in the race in the Albert Bartlett. Now, if you look at that form, Allaho's, where is he going? Is he going Marsh? Is he going RSA? I think he's the thing for the Marsh. Then you have Melindo. If Cheltenham has a stinker on the day, Melindo will probably win the RSA. So if Birchdale rocked in here, you'd have to say it's a chance. But I think Protectorate. But the problem is, Dave, there's no value. He's 10-1 favourite now. Stop yourself if you want to have a bet on him. I'm like, Carl Cup is a minefield. I don't like the race. Never have. I don't think I've had a winner in it in a long time. So, look, it's up to the viewers if they want to have a go at Protectorate. Irish point of view, I suppose it all depends if Abracadabra and Envoy Element, because then the Irish are plowing to Sempo for the fact that he was 6-7 last year in the bumper. After that, it's up to yourself.
Yeah, I think they're talking maybe with Sempo as well for the Albert Bartlett. But again, it's going to depend what happens with ground, all that sort of stuff, I suspect, for a lot of these horses. I'd be interested to see if Backerson came here, because he's got a couple of options. He could be potentially interesting. We're just at that fiddly period now, really, aren't we, where we kind of know where some of the horses are going, but you're not 100% sure. I'd like to say lots of the ones we'll be talking about we found in the market. Birchdale, the main reason why I was interested in Birchdale was I backed him at the start of the season, any race. And obviously I was expecting him to be a JLT or an RSA horse. And then out of left field, I've got 33-1 on a horse in the Coral Cup that's going to go off single figures. So it's ridiculous. Dame de Compagnie deserves a mention, given the fact that Nicky Henderson went through the trouble of appealing with the stewards for the £2, all that sort of stuff. But I wouldn't have her in here. I'm not a massive fan of the horse Protectorate, but I do know that Skelton's the master when it comes to these sort of handicappers. So you can see why they're thereabouts. Boodles is the next handicap. So, yeah, me and Darryl were fairly well oiled by the time we got through to doing the Boodles, and we did both say that we like Mick Pastor. Now, this is a race where I often leave it till nearer the time to jump on something, unless there's something that looks from a few weeks out like it's the one. I was dead against Band of Outlaws last year, so I'm going to just zip it up for this and just let you take it away, mate.
I don't like any of the Irish horses in here, Dave. I don't know why. I don't like Aramac. Overhyped. I might be wrong. He probably hose up north. I don't like Mick Pastor. I know now it was his first run and bitten that day, and I don't know. Did he handle the track?
It was bad when he had the hood on and everything. It was a very, very underwhelming performance at Cheltenham. And that's the sort of thing, you've touched on it before when I was talking about Master Debonair, when we talked, if the horses are getting beat around Cheltenham, it's not, you almost want to just knock them off the list, didn't you? Especially when they're a juvenile. So, yeah, it was a bit of a loose one, Mick Pastor, I think.
I mean, like, if you look at it here, right, Solo is top weight, 11-10, like, that's not going to run. So Psycho's not going to run. Wave the Sea's not going to. So, he could end up with top weight of 10, 140. So, not for me. A lot of people are saying Fujimoto Flair. I don't know. Can't have a horse that didn't. I know I'll probably settle better in a race like as fast as the Boodles, but I don't know. I think this race revolves around 4 horses. Is Black Gold for Island King, Zoffy for Philip Hobb, Roland Ward for Stuart Edmonds, and Night Edition for David Pike. Now, Roland Ward were second and third to Galahad Quest the last day in the Triumph Orchard. Now, that's good form because they always take a horse that was run around Cheltenham. But I think with the collateral form with all them, Zoffi hosed up the last day by 11 lengths at Doncaster, but was absolutely hammered by Blacko, and there's only a pound difference in the weight. Like, so there's 135 Blacko and 134 Zoffi. Blacko destroyed him. Now, if I was to have a selection and go with form line, no, not a confidence selection because you wouldn't know if they're Fred Pinter, but it's Blacko for me. It has to be because it's beaten all them. It's beaten Night Edition as well. So, and it's only given £2 against the Night Edition, and it's followed it up the last day after these penalties. So, I think it's a great bet.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think with Roland Ward, it's probably worth mentioning. He's been taken out the betting by a lot of bookies. Maybe there was something that was said about him. I must have missed it, but I'm not sure whether he'll be going. Galahad Quest did look interesting as well. The one that a lot of people are putting up recently is Tronador for Gordon Elliott, aren't they? But
there's a good gamble on him the last couple of days, all right, yeah, because Gordon Elliott said he's a right chance. If he's there at the bend, he'll be there. He said that's what he said, and he stopped it pretty quickly after that.
But again, it's one of those Gordon's. Well, not in like none of this is meant in a negative way, but Gordon's a fiend for those sort of gambles, all those bits and pieces, because the right people will be on at the right time. Yeah, it could take it.
It's the same crowd that owned Veneer Charm, I think. So I think like Veneer Charm, if you look at his form, he was first, second, and then he was seventh in a Grade 1, and then no one took note of this, and he was 33-1 on the day, and no one took note of that. They were on, obviously, but we weren't.
That's it. And we're at the time now where the preview nights will be coming out, the Betfair one, all those bits and pieces. So when he puts up his charity bets and when he puts up his nap, this will be a horse that he will not mention any of those. And if he doesn't mention it, that's only a good thing, surely.
Exactly. The more he doesn't mention, the better it is.
That's it. So the first handicap we're now going to move on to for the Thursday is the Potemps. Plot of all plot jobs. There's already in the market here 4 or 5 horses that are single figures. Relegate's come under a lot of excitement recently, but they did the same last year when they were talking about it for the Albert Bartlett. I've backed a couple of these just over the course of the season, but I'm useless in the Potemps. I can't you can normally spot a bit of a plot job, but in these ones, because they have to qualify, I really struggle with it. But you're going to tell me the answer, surely.
Oh, I think Bar Glenlow. I think this is my. We won't talk about Glenlow. I had the winner of it last year, Sarah de Burley, all right, but that was my first winner for a while in it. I think Phoenix Bay is a good thing. Dave. Like Barry Garrity struggled to hold on to him the last day. He did everything in his power to make him not win. So I mean, like 140 is a great mark. Like you had to say, Ronald Pump. Apparently he's going over the stairs hurdle. I don't know what are they thinking there. Sarah de Burley's going to be top weight, so he's only going to go up 4 pounds in the weight, kind of like weight wise, to 10, probably 11 stone. Oh, I think this is a good thing. I really do. It's travel like the best horse I've seen in a long time in a handicap over 3 months.
Do you reckon Barry's Garrett will jump off of Side of Burley to get on Phoenix Way then?
I don't know. It wouldn't discourage me anyway, Dave, to be honest, even if he's on him or not, but I think he should. For the life of me, I don't know how anyone can back Relegate. I know he'll get in. He'll get in.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be the one day that we'll say, oh, it's no chance, and it'll actually jump, and it'll probably win by half the track.
Yeah.
Do you think of it as but if it's in the first 5 or 6 coming around the bend and jumps the last bell, you would get worried because it has a bit of a speed bomb at the end, but that's because it's going past horses that are tying up the hill, like, do you know what I mean?
Spot on.
But the amount of people who are on about this Relegate, they can't jump. Watch every race in, it just can't jump.
Yeah, and it was the same thing last year when everyone was banging on about it for the Albert Bartlett. I'm the same as you, just can't jump. And when it's staying on, it's dropped out the back to try and, I don't know, whether to keep out of trouble, that sort of stuff. I know the potential you can win it from decent rides, all that sort of thing. But if you've got a horse going around Cheltenham in a bustly handicap that you've got to try and mind the whole way around in a 3-mile handicap hurdle where we know that most of these horses will be trying because they've qualified for a reason, It's a recipe for disaster for me, but famous last words, I suppose. So
Yeah.
the Brown Advisory stable play. This is another one that there'll be a couple of horses I'll be interested in when it comes to the day, but this far out, I don't really have a strong opinion in it. But again, you are here. Is there something from Ireland coming in?
Ben Dundee looks like the one that's sticking out at the moment. They've been well back the last couple of days, but like that was destroyed last year by a Plutar, like in the Close Brothers.
Yeah.
I suppose here, to me, it all depends if Beakstown comes here. I suppose the other one you could say is there and the Carjack because of the form with Champ and Midnight Shadow. Midnight Shadow finished second to Chief Heat in the Silly Wales. That's it that only interests me at the moment. I wouldn't have a strong opinion here. I like the race. I've had a good couple of winners of it, but at the moment, this far out, I wouldn't be. All depends if Beakstown comes here. If it does, I'll be on.
And that's it. I think with Beakstown and with that Derrand de Kajak for Alan King, they both probably want better ground, don't they? So they could both end up diverting here. One that I'll mention, just because I said he was ridiculous price for a Ryanair, and this is the only race that it looks like he might come, is Hardline. I mean, I know it'll be top weight. It'll be very difficult for him to do it, all that sort of stuff. But I do think Hardline is a graded type horse. He's not a grade 1 horse, but he'd be the only one at a real big price that I'd be thinking about a little bit. But yeah, I'd be leaving this till nearer the time. However, we are now going to go away from the handicaps and we're going to give the Mares Novice Hurdle the attention that it so beautifully deserves. I have got a strong opinion.
You can go first there.
Yes. So, Manila Melody, I've been banging on about her for quite a while. She had the best form in the book the whole season. If the ground's more testing, it's going to really, really suit her, I think. The other one that it will probably suit will be Lamar Ice. I don't know why she got such abuse after her last win. I know it was much further in trip and she only just got the job done. But let's be honest, Willie Mullins, a maiden, he can run him over any trip. He'll run him at 2 miles, 2.5, 3 miles. And because they're that good, they'll get away with it. I was actually really impressed with what she did. His comments coming into the festival don't really excite you when he's talking about how she'll be so much better next season. She's been difficult to train, all that sort of stuff. And she was one that people were talking about for last season. But yeah, I think Manila Melody, I still think she's a bit of value at 11-4. I don't really like Floressa. The only reason she built Silver Forever at Newbury was because the penalty had switched ground and the ground suited her. So I don't think she'd want slow ground. And then outside that, there isn't anything that really gets me excited. The one that could be the potential fly in the ointment, Burning Victory. It's another one for Willie Mullins. She could run in the Triumph, so it'd be difficult for her in here, but I think she could be interesting. The one thing with this race to remember is the fact that there is penalties to carry depending on the class of races you've won. So Manila Melody will be given a few pounds away, but she's the right favourite. I think she should be winning it. What do you think?
I couldn't disagree with you there, Manila Melody, because the fact Mary gave a penalty to Dal Cheetah and Colreevy the last day and still beat him handy. My only worry about it is that will it be too far behind? It will stay up the hill. Now, the only thing with Floressa, the only reason I like Floressa is because it jumps well. It's the top. Jumps really good. Now, the race the last day with Lady Button, it was a slowly run race. Suited Lady Button as that little bit killer turn of foot at the end. I think the faster they go, the better it will be for Floressa, but I might be wrong. Whereas the Lamarquise gets by pound off the two of them, so she comes into the reckoning there. But, I mean, like, if the horse gives a penalty to the likes of the Willie Mullins' mares, she has to be worth, like, it has to be worth value at 11-4. I totally agree, like Manila Melody. I mean, like, it has last year, like, it was first time out, and it was favoured to beat the Glancing Queen at Aintree. So, and everyone's talking up the Glancing Queen to be a great horse. Alan King is only, I think, holding her back, I'd say, hopefully for next year. It might run in the bumper, you never know. But, no, I think Manila Melody, I totally agree with you.
And I think it's good as well, because this sort of, I know last year we had the Epatante and Honeysuckle potential clash. Then Honeysuckle didn't come. Epatante looked the good thing. I just still think, like I say, the Lamarquise thing, I don't know why people were knocking her quite so much. There was 2 divisions for that Mare's Maiden. And the other one that won it cozily, if you look at the times, Lamarquise probably still would have beaten that one as well. The horse that it beat has got reasonable-ish form. They're well clear of everything else. So I'd get that. I thought there'd be some more support for her, which made me think that we might be, well, that's why Manila Melody would be like a 3-1 poke. But Lamarquise is pretty weak. I just can't believe that Minella Melody is this price. She might be one of those that on the day people start getting stuck into. I think she's good value. But we're going to move on to, mate, it's going to be a difficult one for you, but just deep breaths. Do you even care about the Kim Muir anymore?
No, don't talk about it, kid. Don't. It's rotten. But sure, look, that's the way it goes. I wouldn't give Daryl's horse that he said out of 10. Yeah. But no, I haven't even looked at the rest. I'm disgusted. But sure, look, that's the way it is.
That's it.
What do you think? You said one a plan of attack there the last day, was it?
Yeah, and Derek O'Connor's been booked. So since I've mentioned that, it was 25 to 1. Well, he was 25 to 1 yesterday. It's into 16's top price now. That's non-one and no bet. As short as 12s in places. It will just keep getting back, this plan of attack. So, no, Barry O'Neill's been booked for it. He's ridden it before. That's confirmed again in the Henry de Bomed stable tour. It ticks some boxes on some trends that someone put onto me. That's the thing. Someone else brought it to my attention in the first place, but he looks like the sort of horse that's going to be well backed. You'd think someone like LeBrule, he's probably not going to get Jamie Codd in here. He might end up going for the Ultima. Ravenhill, Gordon Elliott's talking up as his nap of the festival. When every time Ravenhill runs, he fancies it. It's a nap, and maybe he's trying to deter from something else. The plan of attack, I'd still be sticking with it. There's still value at 16 to 1. It's only going to shorten, but yeah, you need a bit of luck in it. Jockey bookings are always important, aren't they? Because it's the nature of the race, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like I'd say, the only reason Ravenhill's is going to be back is probably Jamie Codd's going to be on it, like, you know what I mean? And Jamie Codd was going to be on Glenlow, so they're going to be over for the next best thing, aren't they? Like, as I said to you earlier in the season, I was there in the stall and couldn't win the Kerry National, so how was it going to win a Kim Muir?
Yep, and that's exactly what I feel with it. But yeah, it's one of those races, gutting that Glenlow's not running there, but I do think this plan of attack, well, I'm adamant, if you were to back plan of attack now, he ain't going to go off 16s. The 25s, like I say, when we mentioned it before, is already gone. It's just one of those that it's the right sort of price to be getting involved with, and it's only going to get shorter, I reckon. The county handicap hurdle. Nicky Henderson was on Luck on Sunday this morning, and Nicky Henderson makes me laugh because not like a Tizard where when he talks sometimes you just think he's definitely had a skinful, but he just gets so animated and so excited about certain horses. Ajali was a horse that I liked last year for the Triumph. Just underwhelmed, but he gave that a little mention saying that he fancied that for the county hurdle. So the 25s on that's gone. He's now 16 to 1 top price. There's a couple that could probably run quite well in here. Ruby Walsh put up Soviet Pimpernel the other day, and I get the fact of the mark and all that sort of stuff, but I think he's got a chance in the Supreme. Not going to be winning it, but he might come third or fourth in the Supreme. So I'm a bit debunked thinking why the Novice would come into the county hurdle. And Rob Kerr's just bought him as well, so I don't see why Rob Kerr's buying him just for a quick handicap win, but he's been mentioned, and I think he's shortened up in a couple of places. There will probably be a few more at bigger prices, but it would be one that I'd be leaving till nearer the day myself. What are you fancying it, mate?
Well, I like the way you said Nicky Henderson tipped a jelly, right? When I think off 150, use raffles, like, it might surely be the God, this horse is better than 150. Do you know what I mean? If it's 150, it's surely going to be better than a 150 horse. Like,
yeah.
And it's fun. Do you know what I mean? If it runs, I think it's a great chance.
Yeah, he's another one that might be a bit ground dependent. Well, we don't know that for a fact yet, but because he was so poor in the Christmas hurdle, Nicky Henderson said that he might just need that bit of better ground, so that could be part of it.
Oh, definitely. But like off 142, I wouldn't. I like, as you said, Rockford is after buying Soviet Pimpernel, so I'm like 142. Surely that horse. Well, I like the way it ran at Limerick that day at Christmas. And it's run this year. It came over for. It was beaten by. Was it Keldastan? Was it Keldastan? Yeah, Keldastan. Yeah. I mean, like, it's getting now. Was it Keldastan or was it? What was the other? Oh, what's that other Nichols horse? Well, it was Keldastan, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was the 4-year-old hurdle. Yeah.
I mean, now it gets.
Sansi, probably you're thinking.
Santi is the other one I'm thinking. Yeah, of course. And the other one is £14, like, better off now with Keldastan, and it was only just beaten. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, like, that could be a bet each way to nothing. If I have a bet, if it turns up, it'll definitely be a huge raffle thing. It's a cracking bet each way, 20 to 1 at the moment. I'm like, surely the horse will get better ground on the county hurdle if it doesn't rain. and that it'll get the conditions that it wants. Daryl Jake will be up, and then Nicky Henderson saying, Jolly has a chance there. That's just to keep people away from Fusel Raffles.
Yeah, probably. The tricky thing as well with the 48-hour declarations, they're brilliant for punters because we get to know what's going to happen. But for something like this, when you're thinking they want to see what the weather's doing, how the ground's going, all that sort of stuff, especially with both of these having entries on the Tuesday, Soviet Pimpernel and Fusel Raffles, if they declare them on the Sunday to run on the Tuesday, they can't put them in the rest of the week, can they? You're not allowed to stay in the other races. So it's hard for them to be able to predict what the weather's doing. But yeah, I agree. So it's begrudging me because I backed Soviet Pimpernel at ridiculous prices on the exchanges, and I know I'll be able to trade him in running, but he probably would have a chance if he came here off the mark because he's definitely better than that. So
better than 150.
Yeah. Do we? Do you want to go through the Foxhunters, or are you not fussed about that?
Oh, you can if you want.
Because I'm not a massive fan of the Fox from a betting perspective. This Staker Wallace has got. Is it Derek O'Connor's going to ride it? There's a jockey booking that's come out in there. The Edinburgh Bulgers has said that it's been difficult to keep sound, all that sort of stuff, but he's one that's been smashed up this week. So, did you give him a chance?
No.
Okay. Who wins it?
Bill away for me, Dave. I suppose the only other horse, I'm like, if you looked at the race last day, is it Weatherby? Right, Hazel Hill's not going to jump as right as it does the last day, right? And if it did jump straight, it would have destroyed him in a Rocco. Only after that then is that because Dave Maxwell is Dave Maxwell, you never know what you're going to get. Like, I think Dave Maxwell should be called Forrest Gump, if you ask me. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get with him. Like, you know what I mean? If you watch back the race with Hazel Hill last year, if he took on Hazel Hill at the right time, he went up the inside and got hampered by the other horse, he'd have been closer. You know what I mean? So, and Two Flyer might be a bet each way. Now, that horse is, 6-7 Cheltenham festivals already. I think the horse that hasn't been there is Bill Away. Looks like he's showing a turn up. But the only thing I will say about Bill Away, that race at Naas was extremely slow. Like 40 seconds slower than standard the last day. Will he show that turn of foot after they go again up in the Foxhunters? It's up to you.
You don't know, do you?
No.
But yeah, we're interested with that one. Bill Away's been mentioned a few times, and it's not very often Willie Mullins has a runner in the race anyway, so it's enough of a sort of almost a tip in itself, isn't it? But we'll move on to now the Grand Annual. You've already told us the winner of this months and months and months ago. Does he still win?
Oh yeah, Lisp is the one. 144, 6-year-old, improving horse. I think, Dave, you said it all the last day. I think this is the horse to beat. I think it's going to be improved. 144. I think it's going to improve fast 144. Dave. Definitely, like, if looked at form with Al Dancer, Mr. Fisher has a chance each way in the marsh. Al Dancer probably has a chance each way in a bad Arkle. Like if they underperform in the Arkle, I think if they underperform in the Arkle, you could see Al Dancer picking up the pieces at a good decent price. But I think this list, 5th last year in the county hurdle, faster they go the better. He's a hold up horse. I think it should be there. I mean, like, I can't see it out of the first 3 days. I think it's one of my strong handicap bets of the week's list.
Yeah, and I do like him, and he's one that I did like over hurdles as well. I backed him at Newbury. I think he might have run into a place. He looked like he should have won. Maybe didn't get enough room, all that sort of stuff. But you are right. Hold up horse. I think those sort of tactics play well in the Grand Annual. So yeah, I'm happy with the fact that you put me onto him a little while ago. And then the final race of the handicap. So if anyone's watched the videos I did with Daryl said that he's going to eat his hat that he doesn't wear if I Like the Way You're Thinking gets beat. Do you reckon it's a good thing?
No. He said to me, your man disagrees with me all the time. No, Dave, I think it's blown its handicap mark because it shouldn't have won twice last year at Galway. I don't know. I'm like, a lot of people are potting this horse up for a very, very long time. I suppose it ran okay this year. Like, you never know. Might eat my hat, as they say, if he doesn't win.
It's not a 5-to-1 shot, though, is it? By any means.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So what is the value then?
What is the value? Well, I suppose Colin Inferno has been found out with getting an extra £7, is it, from 136 to 143. I'm going to have to agree with you, Dave, here. I think Front View, yeah, I really like him. Ran well the last day. Looks like the handbrake was put on.
He could have won, couldn't he? Especially it was in between two horses, wasn't he? And they just squeezed up. And you've never seen a jockey smile mid-race so much. He was so pleased with it, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think, I'm starting to agree with you. The more I look at it, the more I think, oh yeah, Joseph O'Brien trying to win this for a second year in a row. Yeah, it was a second last year in the bumper. It was favoured to beat Blue Sari, wasn't it?
Yep.
At Gorham Park, and Derek O'Connor got off and said, "I can't believe I just got beat." Do you know what I mean? So I mean, like, yeah, this could be the one. Now, look, it all depends if it turns up, but I think a bit of better ground as well wouldn't help the horse by a million miles. Like, no. So I think the way the race was run the last day, and like after I seen, and like Colin Fire, as we said it earlier in the year, how can the handicapper give it an extra £7 for finishing third over 3 miles last day? Beyond me. Look, could win now again? You wouldn't know.
Well, that's the thing with Front View as well. The fact that the mark that has been given by the British Handicap here looks lenient enough considering what we all could blatantly see the last day. One other one, and this is frustrating as well because now the way the market's formed, this horse is in the betting. Well, we're talking about the first four in the betting now, but Pylon for Philip Hobbs. He ran some nice novice races already this season. When I did the Colossus thing on Wednesday, one of the horses that Richard Johnson was talking about for the festival that he's not going to be riding is Pylon, because he said it's going to go to the boys' race. He said he's been trying to persuade Philip Hobbs to let him ride him in another race because he thinks he's still got so much more to come. But again, we're talking about the four horses in the front of the market for the betting now. The thing is, I don't think you have to look for anything ridiculous in a Martin Pipe. You can see the market sort of found the right couple of horses, I think, in there. There might be something at a bigger price, but this is another one where you can wait till you get final declarations, look at some jockey bookings, all those bits and pieces. But I reckon we've already given them the winner. Front View wins, doesn't it? Or if not, Colin Fire, as we've already said that.
Either or, Dave. Either or. Depends on whoever wants to decide themselves. Like, you know, a lot of people, I'd say, in these handicaps, do back one or two horses or even three horses. You could do what you want. You could write Pylon, whatever it's called, in Front View or Colin Fire. But I can't see Colin. I honestly, even off more than 4-3, I can't see Colin Fire out of the first three.
No, definitely thereabouts, wasn't he?
Front View looks like it. It looks like it's a 5-year-old going to surely improving past 139. You know what I mean?
And Oakley Brown is one of the best apprentice claiming jockeys at the moment anyway. So he's a massive bonus that he'll be on there hopefully.
And he's going to probably claim £4 in England, like, so that's £4 off of it straight away, and he's probably still on his Irish mark. So I mean, like, and should have won the last day. So do the sums. It's up to yourself then after that.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for going through all the handicaps and obviously the Mares Novice Hurdle. Just for a little Brucey bonus, if anyone's decided to carry on watching, we talked about other races earlier in the season, but as it stands at this moment, what would be your nap of the festival, your best bet?
Oh,
put you on the top, no, and I. So you talked about Abracadabras before earlier in the season. Do you still like him?
Well, I still think he's a buck bit each way, Dave. Hopefully, the drier the ground, the better. I suppose the nap of the meeting for me, and all depends what race it goes in. But if Allaho turns up in the Marsh, I can't see him being beaten. I really can't. I suppose your obvious ones are Benny, the Diab, Tiger Roll, Paisley Park, and then Voyallen. But I think for the value still at the moment, I don't want to be 3-4-1 favourite, non-runner bet. If Allaho run in the Marsh, I think nothing will beat him. No. Yeah. I think he'll out in front and no one will pass.
Beautiful. Yeah, I like Allaho for the JLT more than I would like him for the RSA, but
I don't fancy him for the RSA. I don't think he's there.
No, and that's the thing. Like Album Photo did it a few years ago. I backed Album Photo for the JLT. They ran him in the RSA. He was beaten out of sight by Percy, but for the long-term future of the horse, they might know better than we do. It just sounded like Willie Mullins wanted to run him in the JLT or the Marsh more than it seemed like. But he's just got so many entries in there. But beautiful. So if Allaho goes to the Marsh, that will be one of your Nappos. So again, thank you for doing these handicaps on the Mares Novice Hurdle, mate. And fingers crossed, the festival's still on.
Hopefully. Great 4 days ahead.
Beautiful. Well, thanks again, mate.
No bother. Thanks, Dave.